Live at 5.
It's the motherfucking Nerdrap podcast, and we in this bitch today, man.
Yes, sir.
Salute to my dog, man. This is the first time I've ever got to talk to a fellow comic book artist. So introduce yourself, bro, man.
All right. Hello, world. My name is Chris Williams, aka Alan Noble. I am the artist creator of Prophet Hitman. Currently working with Concept Moon Studios to develop properties such as Prime and After Image. Just out here making these hits for us, man. That's what we doing.
Yeah, man. First off, man, it's always been I like your artwork. I'm gonna tell you right now. I always fuck with your art style. Like I
Appreciate
always see
that.
either people lean too heavy into Japanese anime or it's too much of a riff. And like when I watch yours, it gives me like that '90s uh Jim Lee type of energy. You know that Wild Force.
Yeah,
And Wildstorm was it with Image
yeah,
Comics and shit.
yeah.
So
Heck yeah, man.
what got you?
Um,
What got you in the comic books, man? Just tell me that in general. What was that?
man, my pops, my introduction into comics was through cartoons, and you know, I'm 40, so I done seen a plethora of cartoons.
Right.
But I remember the first cartoon that made me be like, I need to do something with this was Speed Racer. Cause my dad, he was real big on cars. My dad was old school New York nigga. So it's like he's like, son, I'm about to teach you about cartoons. You want to see a cartoon? You need to watch Speed Racer. And I'm like, what is Speed Racer, Dad? And so I see this, and it's like this was my introduction into cartoons, introduction into anime, saying I want to draw this shit. It's like all happened at one time. So I'm like, yo, and it was so crazy because I was one of those kids that would be hyper focused on shit. So I already knew after watching like 3 episodes of Speed Racer, I was like, oh, he could die. Oh, these are gangsters. Like, oh.
This
once,
get a little real, ain't
once I peeped that, I was like, speed racing is hard like that.
I thought Speed Racer was goofy till the first time I saw him get out the car. He had beat the shit out of some niggas in some desert. I was like, hey,
Boy,
this nigga throwing hands.
man, boy, they showed some old fights with Racer X, man. Racer X mollywop niggas, bro. You be like, ooh, shit. Like they showed him, he done slammed the hood on the guy's hand. He's like, oh, in the old 90s, and all that craziness, man. I was like, these niggas out here fucking, they beating people up, bro. And it's like, think about it. Racer X, that dude brother, he got a mask on, so they out here jumping niggas that's trying to jump down.
Bro, he was definitely holding his brother down, bro. There was never anytime he was getting too sworn or something, man. Matt Racer X came in at the nick of time. And you see how many anime had that trope too, is crazy. Like, but probably came from Speed Racer with Racer X.
Yeah, dog, man. Maka Go, man. That was like revolutionary. Like I know old head dudes in Savannah and stuff that you just drive around and you start talking about Japanese. I know that Japanese car. You Speed Racer. You know about Speed Racer? Like, yeah, I know about Speed Racer. What you know about Speed Racer? I done had a few of those little things because it's like that was back when you would only get like 1 or 2 Japanese cartoons coming in on a sneak. They coming in through all these little like the old VHS tapes. You would get it from like Repco and Fallmore or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like one of them drugstores.
Kiosk store and get like the little anime shows, man. And you ain't, I
Be
ain't
like 10 of them on a tape or a disc. But now, you know what I'm saying?
like you was on a black market looking for anime, man.
Straight up, bro.
But what culminated in is like, yo, making comics? What do you think influenced your style the most?
Okay, so me and one of my kinfolk, David Kent. Shout out Dave Kent. Hey, what's happening, my G? What's happening? We started just like when I was going to Jenkins, man, I was a good artist, but I wasn't like the shit. And so Dave taught me a lot. And it's like that's what kind of made me understand like more anime stuff because I was drawing that American shit. It's like I saw
Yeah.
Todd McFarlane's Spawn, not even the Spawn part, the Curse of Spawn when he had the bone armor, and I was like, I want to draw that shit.
Hey,
I
but
want to draw that shit. And
Todd
it's like,
Allen, David Finch, Jim Lee, we not gonna.
yeah,
I think everybody tried the style, bro. That was it.
man, they the ones, dog. And so then I got up with Dave, and then Dave started. He one of them dudes that know all the names of the people who either wrote or directed the anime. So he'll be like, "Man, there's one in the gore," and he'd be like, "I don't know who that is. He made this." You'd be like, "Oh, I've seen that a million times. You ain't ever knew what his name was." Like, no, I didn't care about that. I just knew what the name was. But
Yeah.
it's like he started introducing me to different artists that have fused those type of styles, and it was like a dude named Joe Mad, and Joe Mad is amazing with that.
Yeah.
And then around the same time, I had this one homeboy that was like, "Man, you ever seen Aeon Flux?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Your style seemed like you wanted to evolve to something like that." I said, "Yeah." So then I went back and watched Aeon Flux, and I was like, "This shit
Down
is
Flux is
beautiful."
fire. That is a hidden gem of MTV. When MTV,
Yeah, dog. Like I'm so blowed that they fucked it up with a movie and never brought it back. Like, hey, we gonna fix this for you guys. You know what I'm saying?
they're only gonna give it the good shit, man. They're gonna keep giving us remake.
I swear. So, man, it's so crazy. Like, I got locked up and shit and all that shit. While I was locked up in Kentucky, man, bruh, I met like a whole gangland of artists, man,
That was
and
wild.
all these dudes were like amazing at what they did. And they all were locked up for the same thing I was locked up. All of us, all the best artists that paint or draw or something, they all were locked up for the same shit. So I'm like, oh, this is some upper echelon shit. You know what I'm saying?
I always wanted to ask this, man, because like I grew up a certain way. I could tell by talking to you, grew up a certain way.
Yeah.
There's a stigma around like comic book drawing motherfuckers. Like everybody's a dweeb who draws comic books, and like, what is that dichotomy like? Sometimes being in this space, but still like being you at the same time. You know what I mean?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Back in the day when we were going to school, man, this shit was not. It was like we drew, but that whole nerd because you draw and you don't act like the normal masses, man. That shit left trauma on a lot of niggas, man.
Yeah.
On some real stuff. So it's like now it's like this is super cool to do this now. But back then it wasn't like you didn't get no stripes for this. You
And
know,
y'all
I
did,
remember I
you
remember
did
days when I
it.
was at Scott and I thought this chick wanted to holler at me or something like that. And she would ask me to draw a picture for her and her boyfriend or something. I'd be like, oh, because I'm an art nigga.
Yo, I definitely seen the shift. I think it's when Marvel started getting popular and people
Right.
see comic books are really like this gold mine for like shit. And now niggas who make comic books now, you're basically a walking millionaire if you just get the right backing.
If you can get the right backing, you can do anything in this, bro. Because it's a property. You know what I'm saying? This is something that tangibly you can make stuff off of and base stuff off of, and then put it out there and let it go out in the sea of everything, and that stuff it'll start garnering stuff to itself. You know what I'm saying? So them businesses they want brands.
Speaking of IPs, because I noticed you got a few IPs in the send me some shit, man. Definitely, I'm gonna have a little slice up little thing in the video so we can showcase your art. I want to
That's
know
what's
about
up.
this Prophet the Hitman, John, man, because I done seen the pictures. Dog definitely like he got some Helsing ass pistols. Like I want to know what's going on. This on gun grade.
Man, yeah, man. It's like I'm about to tell you, man. Profit is a culmination of me seeing a lot of things and spirit taking it and downloading it in my brain as a movie all in one night, though. So it was a mixture of Gungrave, Trigun, not Vampire Knight, but there was some vampire anime that came out where the dude was like a clergyman, but he was a vampire inside of the clergyman suit. And so a few of those other titles, like Nicholas Wolfwood, a lot of characters is like heavily based off of him. Hitman Agent 47, those type of characters.
Right.
It was like, because I'm comedic, man, so I have like a lot of understanding of different spiritual sciences. And so I wanted to be able to make something that was like that taught lessons about, you being your own self-God actualization. But you could still be like, boy, that shit was hard as a fuck, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. So it's like in my mind,
the science is there, but the sauce.
Yeah, that sauce, like it needed to be like Akira meets Power. Akira Miami Vice meets Power. You know what I'm saying? And then throw in ancient Egyptian understanding and thought.
Yeah, and that's what that's why it really drew my eye, because I remember you showed me a while ago too, like when you were sketching covers for it, and because I like sci-fi shit. Like I draw niggas punching each other through planets and shit. But I love like Ghost in the Shell, Cowboy Bebop. Like I've always loved that. So that aesthetic you got with it is, I don't even know much about the story, and just that aesthetic right there, how you captured it, like, because I've noticed in your style too, like there's not an anime aesthetic in terms of like how the characters look, but it's more so in the dynamicism and like the movement and everything else. So
yeah, dog,
it's a real infusion, and I really appreciate that. Your anatomy, like most niggas will stretch anatomy to the extremes just to do that. You don't do those cheap tricks and shit. I really appreciate artists,
but I do, but I don't. It's like I want it to still feel like it could be real, but accentuatedly real. Like Equilibrium. It's like they did gun fu. Prophet does gun fu. You know what I'm saying? It's like I still wanted it to, so it's gonna have technical, like him and his poses and stuff, but I didn't want it to make it look so crazy, because it's like anime. What they'll do is they'll make these crazy like exaggerations, and like after you've seen a few, sometimes you'll see like a few little errors, but they just let it slide because the next scene was something so massive, and it's like, where I'm at in this part of the journey, I can't do that, so I got to stick to what I know looks good to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I appreciate that personally. Like, and another thing I really noticed in a lot of your drawings, man, you got this real like hardcore like urban Power Ranger type of aesthetic with the Sentai Henshin. Personally, I love the Power Ranger period, the entire
boy.
Because I'm like, a Kiter, my nigga. Like, I love that type of shit.
Yeah, dog. 8-Man After and stuff like that. Yeah, dog. Yeah, bro.
So what was you have another series called Boost, like just you know what I mean? Just what inspired that, and why is that
so Boost, that's a character for Concept Moon Studios. So man, one thing I'll say about, shout out to BD Diddley, you know what I'm saying? Publisher, and the whole Concept Moon staff, within the moon, everything's illuminated. You know what I'm saying? That's our little tagline. I was like, man, we gotta have our own Wakanda forever. And so I had drew a picture. I sent you that shit. It's called Argomac Brave. And I just wanted to draw a black Kamen Rider. You know what I'm saying? That I created because I was watching like all the Kamen Riders. I was like locked in. Like I'm one of them dudes. I ain't afraid to say I watched Super Sentai. I watched Tokusatsu. Man, them Asians got stories, dog. If people,
I watch Cash Earn, my nigga. Like no one's gonna
dog,
take those.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Some of them stories, a lot of people think that they like play, but it's like once you watch it, you be like, boy, they are not playing. It's like, yeah, that's just how they look, dog. They're talking about this though. You
Yeah,
know what
like
I'm saying?
I don't know if you've seen like they have the Power Ranger from Boom Studios, and they make the because I follow the artist, so like
Mm.
Dan Moore, and
Dan Moore, yeah.
those Power Ranger comic books, it's cold,
Man,
bro.
they hard, bro. They hard, dog. Like
Them
the
shit be
way they starting to do that, like Hasbro is killing with this brand rebranding, dog. It's like, man, so like I got a few of the actual figures in they box like from the Lightning collection because I like the fact that they got their heads, right? So all the Rangers that I've seen that I love, I'll get them and because I like to have their heads.
right.
So man, Hasbro got some wild ass shit where you could send your picture of your face and you could turn yourself into a Power Ranger. And they'll make a toy of you as a Power Ranger, cuz.
That's fire.
That's fire, dog. Like, really, bro? You pay like $50 and now you don't turn yourself into a toy Power Ranger, dog. Come on, man. I was like, that's genius, dog. That's genius.
Birthday next year. You gave me an idea. I'm stealing the shit out of that.
Oh God, right? I was like, well, I'm about to be like Tommy. I'm gonna be like, I'm 5 Rangers too. God, shout out to Dave. Yeah, God rest his soul.
I love that shit, man. I love that fusion and everything, man, because I feel like, especially like I noticed with black artists, like I see a lot of this infusion of anime, but like where everyone takes it in. I follow a lot of artists, and
Right.
that's what I love this space because it's so much dope ass shit, but like there's no backing behind. Like niggas is just trapping.
Out there.
Like
Nigga, we trapping this art. Yeah.
we trapping. Like we're really trapping right
Yeah.
now. I told
Yeah,
my
dog.
this is the new trap.
Yeah. Because it's like now, and it's like it's so crazy. Back in the day, me and Dave, we were having a conversation, dog. Like, honestly, we weren't able to find no black comic book artists for a long time, dog. Like me and him actively were looking for people, bro. And it's like that was back when we was like still going to school, and the internet still had the AOL hookups and all that. But they wasn't talking about all that shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? It
Right.
was not like that, dog. It was like it wasn't until like after I got out in like 2009. You know what I'm saying? Like that it was you were able to really just look up and start seeing like the works and all that. And
Right.
then once that started happening, and all them people like Jim Lee and all them did that little rock star shit when they went to Image, it
Yeah.
was like comic book companies started putting in their little contracts like do not pop clause, like you can't get bigger than the book you drawing now. We'll stop that.
Oh yeah. No, you good, bro. Like,
No, I feel you, man. Lifetimes, bro.
yeah, no.
Straight up.
But yeah, man. I feel like it was real difficult to find black artists because I don't
Yeah.
know. It was hard for me to like define my style because I did American just like everyone else did because I love
Yeah.
American comics, but I fell in love with anime. Then I started doing anime. Then I was like, how do you make because no one drew us in this shit. So like a lot of us had to free ball. Like how do we make like black characters in this space and like appealing to people because every time
Right.
them drawers niggas had big ass lips. Like you remember Shaman King, the one black
Yeah.
had the bubble wrap around.
Mr. Popo. Yeah, all that, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so important for us to tell our own stories, man. Because it's like we could be mad at them for their view, but that's like their view. They're a whole nother people. We're all together, but they're a whole nother people, dog. If we told it's like how they say in the spiritual journey, if you focus on your garden, you watch that shit grow. You know what I'm saying? When you watch everybody else's garden, your shit don't grow. And it's like we just at the point where we've been through our own diasporas enough to where we need to tell our own stories. It should just be for us, by us, us, and then we have this thing. And because now everybody's learning our stories, they want that now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And right now, I'm gonna tell you, like I told my man too, because cooking up. Yeah, everybody cooking up some shit. That's the best part. But right now, with the writer's strike and like we're kind of tired, people want new shit, and it's like right now, I told people like it if you was grinding, it's gonna you gonna see it now.
Yeah, yeah, dog.
And,
Because now they're gonna be starving for new IPs because all that strike stuff. Even when they bring that stuff back, they got time that's got to wait before they start it up. They gotta meet with people and all that, bro. It's like these waves be few and far in between. Like the biggest one was right when they let out Black Panther. It was like they were like, "We are here," and it's like shit just got wild. All these new groups, all these new phrases of all. It's like 19 different socio-economic norms transform, which transform like 68 laws. It's like everything happened. Like when Black Panther came out, it's like it was almost like a
the
DNA
world,
explosion.
the
Half of
world
us got
stopped.
like,
The
I'm more
world,
conscious now.
bro, and like all of our, all these IPs, all these black creators, these black companies. You had like, bro, we got it's multiple out right now, like just free banding, and it's just
Yeah,
the market's out there, man, and just
it is, man.
so
It is, man.
what is the future goal for the art shit, man? Because it's things I gotta ask as well. Like, what do you got in store, man? What's
Like, man, ultimately, bro, because profit was divinely given, man. I dreamt that thing, man. It was just God gave me that, so I know I have to do that. But man, I got like 7 big stories. By the time I'm done with all 7, I'll be like, I don't feel like drawing no more. But I got like 7 big stories that's gonna build the noble verse. You know what I'm saying? And that's going and but those stories are gonna be like epic because the way I write my stories like an anime though. As a beginning, middle, and then I don't do one of them. Oh yeah, like Prophet isn't gonna be the way you see him forever. Like nah, and we're gonna get to it. Not fast, but like a Netflix series, like the
yeah,
normal round of them. By the time you get to 8, it's like these episodes been through 30 minutes, but the 30 minutes had a lot of shit in it. So it's gonna be like that.
with that. I
So
like that serialized storytelling anyway, man. I just think that makes it better. That's a better view.
yeah,
Now,
don't rush it.
I'm a One Piece fan, bro, but like I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Like it's a quarter of my life I spent like wanting to see the end of this. Like I would rather. It's like I'm not doing all that, bro. Like
Now you so invested. Now if you stop, it's like why the and then it start coming out with better arcs, and then you go like, oh, now I gotta go back, and it's like, man, it's like that'd be the trap of anime, man, because it'll be so good and so gripping. You'd be like, I need to know what's happening.
but it's
What's
like,
going
bro,
on?
this shit's so long. It's like, bro, you gotta go
Like
so much.
my homeboy Rick, he was like, yo, Chris, hey, bro, you need to get back on One Piece, cause I only watched the first season, so I counted up how many episodes it was, and I was like, if I watch 4 episodes, it's 2 hours. How long will it take me to catch up? That shit was like 8 years, cause I was like, no, no. I was like, no, man. I'm straight on that. I'm gonna have to always read cliff notes on that. Yeah.
I think the only saving grace for me, like I always just watched it. Like I started watching early, so I always liked it to be real. So like I always
Mhm.
watched it, but I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like if it wasn't for me like reading the manga, I wouldn't have.
Man,
It's
I didn't like it until J Stars came out, and I played as Luffy, and I was like, oh, he could do this stuff. Oh wow, J Stars Victory is such an awesome ass game.
that's
That
bro.
that shit was fire, dog. Like you can play with all Shonen Jump. Man, when I get to where I'm going in the industry, I got an idea for them. Like some common writer shit, but with all the Shonen characters, man. It's like It's big shit.
Bro, a
You
whole
know.
like a bunch of Common Rider, hentai, little transforming ass niggas.
Yeah. I don't wrote it out. It's called Shonen Boy and all that shit, dog. Yeah.
Hey man, I ain't gonna hold you, man. Hey man, you know niggas gonna have to link up and do something, man. I ain't gonna hold you, dog. Like
Oh,
that.
yeah, man. For sure.
Like and another thing too, like
Mm.
because I'm. Do you feel like comics been declining lately? Just in
Oh,
general.
it has, man. It's like hero fatigue. Like we being like we're just throwing out so many heroes and corporations are trying to get all these brands and it's like because now everything's so open digitally, because everything's open so digitally, it's like we're seeing the progression of all the time as well. As in like in the 90s and the early 2000s, you couldn't see everything. It's like you just knew stuff was changing. But when it gets to the point where you can watch how the market goes up and down and all that, and the socio-economic norms that are changing, like how to write comics, and it's like you could watch it
Yeah,
and say, like,
it
you
just.
gotta people ain't investing their energy like that no more because they seeing too much of it.
I think it's like Spider-Man too, bro. I just think the stories are just tired, bro. Like these niggas been around
Dog,
like 80
man,
years, bro. Like
they're scared to release them, dog. It's like, man, there's a world of people thinking all different type of shit, bro. Get some whole new heroes.
but just let
It's
them
like shout out to DC for trying to at least come out with like a wave of like 8 new heroes and not make any of their other books for a little bit. Now the shit didn't work, but they did really good though. They came up with their own little Spider-Man called Sideways. I was like, what the? I mean, that was cool. He
it
jumped
was
through
cool.
portals. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was like the only thing that blew me was like that was a Spider-Man. Like DC, you shouldn't try to make him though. You know, come on, don't do that. But I understand you were like, shit, let us have a run at the little let us get some money off of the guy who can look like sticks to walls.
Right?
You know,
It's working for
I
y'all niggas.
get
Let it
that.
work for me.
You
Shit.
know, but it's like they don't want to let it go. That's the problem.
Man, they copy each other though. I can't even say that, man, because like Marvel got Black Panther, but DC got Red Lion.
But I ain't gonna lie. I was talking to B. I was talking to B this morning. He was kind of giving me like I think Hickman took over the last saga of the X-Men, like where they talk about the island of Krakoa. And like when he was breaking down like what happened on this new arc, it almost made me be like, yo, I need to start buying comics like American comics again, dog. Like,
The new X-Men is ridiculous, bro. Like I ain't gonna hold you. Like
yeah, dog.
them
He
niggas
was
had their
telling
own
me like,
society and shit.
yeah, like Moira, she got like 9 different incarnations. It's like, come on, dog.
I'm like, this nigga Beast is a villain. Like now this nigga I'm like, bro, this nigga is legitimately turned into like a fucking neo-Nazi for mutants. And I'm like,
That shit, wow, dog.
I mean, I think X-Men, I think a lot of people don't like X-Men. They wanted to go back to how it was, but I'm actually happy they actually finally progressed. Like now, what has happened when they have a mutant utopia?
Man, let me. Did you ever hear the thing about like Marvel was upset with how Fox was making the X-Men movies, so they started killing off all the X-Men movies in the Fox they comic books, and it affected how Fox was making the movies. Did
I
you ever hear something about that?
I know how they were like, I something similar, but nothing like that. No,
Yeah, but that's kind of like what was going on. And this dude for this Krakoa thing, he was writing all this back then. Like this is where they wanted to take X-Men, but because it was caught up in the rights, they were doing it like this to like minimize the damage on their characters, so they could tell the story they wanted. Man, that's G as a fuck, boy. They fucked up their characters for some business shit to make it the way they wanted to make it.
it's like now it's not profitable to y'all. So now I can do
Yeah,
what the fuck I want to. Where the X Men
yeah,
have finally progressed to be a different type of team altogether. Now these
Man, when
niggas on different dimensions, fighting mutants and other universes. The
man,
sword
this man told me he told me that the X-Men on the first issue of the Hickman run, like they went to go fight like Nimrod, the new Nimrod or something on a like out in space, and like they died. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, bro. It was like this moment. And then the next thing, it was like the commencement speech. Charles Xavier, he walking around, he's not paralyzed no more. He walking around with Cerebro just on his head all the time.
Yeah.
And he has these eggs that open up. And I haven't seen these issues. He's just telling me verbatim like what he's seeing. And he said all the X-Men were alive again. Like this, you can just born them now again.
Yeah, Krakoa, them niggas can
Wow.
bring themselves back to life and all type of wild shit.
These niggas is like gods now. It's like, oh shit.
They
He said
became
they got the thing where they
the
gave
mutants became the new
humankind.
Inhumans.
Yeah, he's like they gave mutant kind like the medicine to cure every illness. Like, oh yeah, y'all on some god shit with this art. Whew, you know.
Nah, that shit was fire, bro.
But
That's
there was a part of the story that we were talking about earlier. I did want to fill this in because I think a lot of people should get into it. So with how I was adopting my style, my homeboy introduced me to Chinese comic books, manhwas. Man, like Tony Wong, Ku Fuk Lung, and all that. Dave actually introduced me to that. Man, how they drew it ingrained itself in my mind, and that's ultimately what I want to draw. I want to draw our Chinese manhwa like it feel like that. I'm about to start learning how to do watercolors for like those splash pages and all that. Yeah,
nah.
dog.
I think Level Up is an anime based on a manhwa, wasn't it? The solo.
Yeah, solo leveling. Yeah, solo leveling. Yeah. I think Crunchyroll making an anime of that joint right now.
Yeah. They made it like
That
a
joint gonna
Japanese
be
version.
hard, dog.
It's Korean, ain't it?
Yes, it is Korean. It is Korean.
That shit's gonna be fire, bro. Listen, I'm telling you, man.
Man, the wave is here, and it's big enough for everybody to get they things out, bro.
It's really for
And
independence, man. That's the shit gonna make money. America doesn't have like its own equivalent to manga because everybody's trying to make a superhero.
Everybody's trying to make like black manga instead of coming up with like something that's totally what we do.
Just you, like, just
yeah, you know. Straight up, bro.
That's why I'm supporting with this. That's why I appreciate you coming on, because it's about just black storytellers. I don't want just niggas who want to just tell Black Dragon Ball Z all day.
Yeah.
Like I want new shit. I want things that's interesting. It may just be a horror story, maybe anthologies, it may be a one shot, a mini series, you know, it could be anything, but I want just our stories. Just more like. But I mean, I like some Dragon Ball Z shit. Don't get it confused.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what you
Dragon Ball Z introduced us to battle manga and battle anime, because it was like, yeah, we saw like punching in G.I. Joe and in the X-Men. It was like, you know, with like the little strong speed lines that look like they're just moving real quick. And anime is like, his arm go all the way back, and it's like, you see a whole bunch of little half punches, but a whole bunch of speed lines, and how they're animating it is just moving so fast. Kids looking like, what is happening? What is this?
Nah, but these animes now, bro, these niggas be getting the camera be moving, they be trailing across planets, and the camera come behind them, they be dashing around, the hand choreography be insane, and then be like, dog.
Have you seen the first? Have you watched any of the new Castlevania that came out today?
No, Nocturne came out. I just heard it came out today, bro.
Boy, how they animated his mom, like walking, like how they animated her walking, like squaring up against a vampire. That shit was beautiful. It was like her body was moving, but it was like slow enough to where it looked like a normal camera pan. But you saw the dude, like his just minutes. Man, that shit was dope. I was like, that's how I want my shit to start.
I gotta see that because Castlevania, bro. Like I watched the other 3 seasons. Them the animation on that shit
Bananas,
slapping, bro.
bananas,
But they doing
dog.
the Devil May Cry one too.
Dog. Yeah, bro. Yeah, dog.
I was like, bro, the same niggas. I said, oh, that shit gonna be wild, bro.
Dog, the same niggas is also trying to get one other property. If they get that shit, it's gonna go crazy. They trying to get Zelda. If these niggas get Zelda, it's over. It's over, dog.
if they
Like,
get Zelda, but Netflix is supreme, bro. Like, bro, like they got
like
Tomb
you
Raider
can't be
already.
defeated, dog. Yeah, they got Tomb Raider coming out, dog. And now it's like you see how they did it. They went and grabbed some obscure ones and redid them. Then they grabbed a few like retro ones and did them. Then they started pouring out a few live action versions. It's like dog when like they made themselves like the Dragon Brothers or the Home Brothers. You know, like those would be the people that bring it to us. Netflix made this them that to us now, dog. It's like they took over all the different genres of
Yeah,
that type of essence, and now they're like, we are like the Shaw brothers to y'all.
we the Shaw brothers. This is the American quick Devil May Cry, and these is like that's American made shit. Like they get French animators and shit, bro. Like that,
Yeah, dog.
like,
Yeah. And
but
shout out to France. Y'all been the underdog champs for a long time. And it's like people don't even think about, man, the French are
niggas,
drawing their ass off over there.
bro, I still got the Doofus film, bro. The
Wow.
animation's insane, bro. Like the animation, bro. There's a French animator on One Piece.
Oh,
Vincent
word?
Charizard.
That's what's up. Oh, that's what's up. I'm telling you, bro. Them French people, them French artists, oh, they be dope. Oh, black dude, Spider Guile. He's another black artist that's kind of I think he's drawn from Marvel. That dude dope. He's dope as a mug too. Yeah, we got a little technical difficulties, but it's all good. We back on deck.
Oh,
Alive and fine.
we good to go. Yeah, I don't.
All right.
Somebody called me and shit. But yeah,
Oh yeah, I
what
get
you
it.
saying, man?
Man, I'm zooted. What was
I'm
I
hot
just
as
saying?
hell, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, big dog.
Right,
But
right.
nah, man. At the same time, like I do feel like what it is now when it comes to like storytelling is
Mhm.
manga is was kind of conquering the world because people just want dope shit. Like we don't really care for the costumes and all that. I learned that a while ago. Like when it comes to like making stories and shit, like niggas, the battle systems and the little niggas is all for that. Like everybody like that. Everybody likes some cool action, but all
Mhm.
that, Doctor Nefarious and putting on capes and cows. That's fun. I mean, I like superheroes like the next nigga, but I mean, that got to be done a certain way. And I just feel like it's not
Yeah,
done creatively anymore. It's just niggas got a
and
Spider-Man comic, bro.
and it's like this is the craziest part about doing this artist thing. So, because sometimes you have to kind of keep it real PG, but it's like I will say this: capes and cowls and stuff don't ain't really our style. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like you didn't see Hancock. Hancock wasn't like put some extra fabric on his back for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like because it's like that ain't our thing. That ain't our thing. We would be like, nah, I have superpowers. What you gonna do, cuz?
Like I got powers, my nigga. Like
Yeah, they'd be wearing hoodies or have like some type of funky looking little tech joint that they seen off of Facebook Marketplace and like, yep, this is my joint. You know what I'm saying?
like
I
they
can
got
see like what is the name of the clothing? It's like Fabric of the Universe. They be having
Yeah,
like them.
Fabric of the
Man,
Universe shit with like the little
yeah,
sci-fi
man, them
masks they be
boys.
having.
Yeah, I can see like somebody buying like a whole thing and be like, "This will probably be my superhero fit." You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna
Because of
lie.
how they design that gun.
But that's how I see the wave too. It's like I just feel like we're shifting, and like the idea of what's cool, of what's considered a hero. And the craziest thing is that Power Ranger aesthetic fits more in this future we're going to than it ever did back in the day.
Man, bro,
Like
swear to God, dog.
it just makes more sense now. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna sit in the lab. I'm gonna make up some fucking Power Ranger ass.
Dog. Oh yeah, I already been kind of thinking about that, but there's a lot of people that did their made some Power Rangers up. You know, shout
Yeah.
out to my homeboy Matt Palmer. Oh yeah, I did some work with him. He got the immortal Red Fox, and like his web episodes, he had the dude who was Ichigo voice, the second Black Ranger. He was the voice of immortal Red Fox,
Oh, that's fire.
right? What is
Oh.
his name? I'm too rooted to remember the second Black Ranger name, though.
The
I
second
don't
Black
know.
Ranger. No, I forgot the nigga
Adam.
name.
I don't remember his real name. Johnny
Johnny
Young
Young
Bosch.
Bosch.
Yeah, yeah. Like he's the voice of Immortal Red Fox, and I was like, "That's dope. You caught him, dog." And Matt was like, "Yeah, man, I had to get him." I was like, "Yeah, that's
Nah,
dope."
nah, man. You get Johnny Young Bosch. That's official.
Yeah, they got a movie. They had a movie that they came out with, and all that with that stuff, man. Like I think these were a lot of guys from like Texas. I think if I heard Matt right, a lot of guys from Texas. I guess they had some bread, and they all made their own versions of Power Rangers and Kamen Riders and some other property, and they called it like Texas Satsu, Texas Satsu, and it's like. Yeah, like they got like these Power Rangers that have like musical notes on their faces and stuff. I'll send you some pictures of it. You be like, what? Yeah, these dudes in Texas made that up, though. You know what I'm saying?
Man, like they found their own market.
But it's
Niggas got
because it's because those type of properties, though, and think about it. You know the reason why there's so many different Power Rangers? Because there's so many different stories out there. No Power Ranger teams, they might get two seasons at the most, and then it's a new. We'll see you later.
new
You know what I'm
demographic, new
saying?
aesthetic, new culture they drawing from. And it's like you
Yeah,
can
man.
kind of do anything with it.
Like Common Rider, like Common. I ain't gonna lie, Common Rider. That's my favorite suit. Whatever, dog. Like I've seen every season of that. Like, cause the stories, dog. Like I love the little. I like the flashy, like armored suits and stuff. Cause I draw that. You know what I'm saying? But man, some of them stories they just be so wild, like how they combine different elements, and you be like, where did you even? What y'all was on to make this that? You know?
Bro, I think I remember like I was watching when I was a kid, Lost Galaxy or
Hmm.
In Space. And bro, this shit
Yeah,
was legit like they were the last of humanity drifting in space trying to find a new haven, fighting some
yeah,
galactic war. Like motherfuckers end up sacking the Red Ranger killed himself in the end to destroy the. I'm like, bro, these stories actually were kind of like these were legit stories, man. Granted, they
yeah,
were
dog.
cheesy because the times and the budget. But I would be like, man, y'all ain't really have to do much. Just give the budget to where they actually look like some super strong ass, armored heroes fighting some villains and shit.
Man, honestly, they should have just went with the original stories. Dog, that's one thing I'll say about the eight. They, aside from a few of like they're like they personal, like their spiritual totems, like if they're talking about like if they got like a power associated with their religion or something. But when they're just going at it, man, the writing is so in flow. It's like you could do anything with them joints, man. You can make any. They had a. It's like they had there was Power Ranger Mega Force where they looked like they had like the angel wings on their chest.
Yeah,
Man, that was like a whole nother thing than the pirate one. They just combine them shits. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They got seasons off of seasons, and like these stories, some of their rangers be dying, getting knocked off bad, and they can't show that to the kids here because they'll have a conniption because we teach our people to hold on and keep going, and they'll have a whole episode about the heroes having to let go of it to finish the fight, and we wouldn't be able to have an episode like that unless it was just like a recap episode.
Right, that's a fact though. Like, I mean, I think I do want a Power Ranger story that just takes it all the way there. And I mean, like, just don't be afraid of it. And again, I want to see what you do in that genre, man, because I think your style doing some Kamen Rider like shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's what Argomax Brave is, man. Argomax Brave is my love letter to Kamen Rider because ultimately, what I would love to do. This is how I know I'm on. If I'm able to go tell them, hey, I wanted to do some designs for this, and be like, oh, you, oh, what you got? Let's look at it right now. If they do that to me, I've arrived. That means that they know that I'm about to come with some heat.
Right. That means I'm on.
The last season was a season called Geeks, man. This dude had guns strapped to like armor guns on his arm, had like this nice little revolver type gun, man. And he was a fox. He had like an armor like a fox. By the end of it, he looked like if Naruto had armor with Kurama activated, dog. It looked disgusting, dog. It was so beautiful. That's how that nigga that shit it looked like some superhero shit, but like the way the armor looked is like that's some shit you would see on Guyver or anime, and they found a way to put it out here. Man, that shit was like, man, if anybody who saw that was actually watching it, they'd be like, boy, if I had that shit, I'd be fucking some niggas. Everybody's gonna say the same shit. Man, I would walk in every hood. Like, oh, you got a problem?
Right.
Henshin.
Ain't nobody about to talk to me crazy. I ain't taking none of that.
I'm gonna put this belt on and show you what it is. Oh, it's 12 of y'all. Let me make sure this belt go to the second level. We about to go ahead and show you another mode off of this bitch.
And see, that's why I like that genre, man. That's why I like that sci-fi aesthetic that you got, man. Because I want to see, like, I just want to see a battle scene with these black Kamen Rider ass niggas just going at it. And hey, man, if you want like a variant cover or something, man, like that's all. I'm just like I'm a fan of that shit, man. I always wanted to do that too, just for other creators, man. Just like like we all got IPs, man. Everybody's a fan of each other. Because manga in Japan do that. They show homage all the time. They'll draw sketches and pictures.
Dog. That's kind of like with the Kamen Rider version that I created. It's called Argomax Brave. It's like eventually I'd like to get that because that would be something I'd want to see as like a test to see if I could do it. I'd want to see if I could run like a small arc, have like after I do like maybe 3 or 4 of them, start hiring other artists to make an Argomax type character, like it's Argomax Phobos or Argomax something like that, and you tell whatever story you want. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Make the Argomax like legend grow. You know what I'm saying?
Like add to the myth.
Yeah,
add these little stories to it. That's the shit I like. I feel like Star Wars has wasted the potential of its universe for about 20 years, bro. I feel like
they got books on books on books that are way better than the stuff that they're putting out that we could have been watching, dog.
I'm like, bro, that niggas still trying to bring back Palpatine, but there was a whole 100-year war between Sith Lords. It's called Age of Darkness. But instead of giving us some wild shit, nah, we want to keep going trying to remake the original movies, bro.
Yeah, though. Nah, I like a kosher though. I like that.
No, that shit's fire.
That shit is fire because it's like actually I watched Star Wars Rebels before I watched the Clone Wars or the 3D Clone Wars because it was like I saw an old girl with the tendrils, a kosher, and I was like, who is that? And so I started looking at it for her. But then when I saw that she was Anakin's first Padawan, I was like, oh. So she's like the one now, because that's if he's the one, whoever he trains has to be dope as a fuck.
Yo, the
Because
Clone
Anakin was
Wars,
like he was Neo.
but the Clone Wars is fantastic, bro. I'll be the first to tell
Oh,
you.
I went and watched that joint. Man, the clone, both of them, bro, they were hard as a mug, bro.
Niggas don't understand how, like, but Darth Maul was one of the greatest villains in that entire show, bro. His brother came back, like how they built on the myth of like, but it made me mad because the movies wasted so much story potential. And it's like they're just now finally realizing that there's a lot of shit you guys can do with Star Wars, other than
Straight up.
about, like there's other characters that are more interesting.
Yeah, dog. Like you don't have to just keep talking about the Skywalker bloodline and all that stuff. That's what I like about this new Castlevania. Cause it's like they introduced some characters I don't think because Dave man, I'm telling you, my homeboy Dave, he done introduced me to so many anime concepts. Like I didn't know about Symphony of the Night. He introduced me to it. But by the time I started watching him, he was already in the castle with Alucard. But they got like 2 or 3 characters that I don't really remember from that. And it's like I love that they're trying to do different stuff to expand on these stories. Like, man, wait till you watch it. You're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. And you're gonna be
Right.
like, that was dope that they did that way. I promise you, you're gonna come tell me that.
Hey, I'm gonna watch Nocturne. Nocturne looks fire as fuck, bro.
Man, bro.
I just want I
I'm
want to
so
see y'all shit like that, man. That's what I want to see.
if they doing this like Symphony of the Night, dog, the Alucard and Dracula reveal are gonna be crazy. It's like we probably won't see that for like 2 seasons.
Bruh, if it's Symphony of the Night, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Just how they had this nigga. I saw the little poster of it. This got this nigga doing some like blue fire magic like shit. And I'm like, oh man, this nigga look powerful, bro. So I'm like, hey,
Oh yeah, dog.
yeah,
Yeah,
he a
bro.
Belmont Belmont.
Richter was dope when you got Richter in Symphony of the Night. Oh, you was already at the top of his shit.
Yeah, he was power. Yeah, so what? He was a
Yeah.
magic user in Symphony of the Night too.
Yeah, but you had to play. You started the game off as Alucard because Richter done got taken. Like his mind had got messed up by Dracula. So he was like, you had to fight him and free him, and then Richter had to finish the fight against Dracula.
Mm. So
So it's like if we're doing Symphony of the Night, it got to get to the point where Richter basically gets taken up by Dracula, and then Alucard got to come save him real quick. And of course, if it's within that, if it's like that season, it'll probably be like 3rd or 4th season, and that'll be like the ending of that shit.
yeah, because Richter is powerful as fuck, basically. So like, what
Yeah,
he gets
dog.
back right?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I see.
Oh yeah, bro.
I played this. I played the Castlevania for 360. See, I ain't
See,
played
a
it.
lot of man, they got so much lore from that. Man, they got other Castlevanias. I remember when they just had remade those 2 Castlevanias and tried to make it like that Dracula Untold joint, but it's like where Gabriel turned into Dracula, like Gabriel Belmont
Yeah,
became Dracula.
yeah.
And I
That's
mean,
the
the
Lord of
gameplay was
Shadows.
dope. Yeah, Lord of Shadow. It's like the gameplay was dope, but I was like, man, it was always the Belmonts versus Dracula to me. It wasn't like, oh yeah, he was Dracula.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Then in the second game, you were just Dracula, and it's like your son. And then you had to fight Satan at the end.
yeah, dog. That was amazing though.
Like it looked cool. Like the design of it, like the graphics were crazy. It was just one of those like it felt like really underworldy to me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and I
Because by
like
the end of
underworld.
that, you weren't even really using the whip or nothing. It was like you just using all this magic against Satan, you know?
It was just like, all right, bro. I'm like, I guess, bro. And I'm like, I'm still here for Castlevania, bro. Like he's still supposed to be like some Van Helsing ass nigga, bro.
Yeah.
Like that like powerful or not, like Richter uses magic, but he's still human.
Speaking of which, man, what's good? What's good with we gotta start working on that joint that we collabing, bro. The vampire joint.
Oh man, yeah, man. I gotta that I mean, on my end of the idea, I just got to start laying shit out, bro. But like I feel like that shit they're gonna be crazy, bro. Cause like
Yeah, bro.
I'm really into like I'm really into Devil May Cry. That's the best way to describe it. Like I always
Yeah,
like Devil May Cry, so I always wanted to just have an excuse to just have like some semi strong niggas fight some uber powered ass enemies and like just have to like survive constantly against like they're never at an advantage in any time they're going against these niggas, but they make it look cool.
straight up.
That's the idea. Like the style points there. They're still trying to style on niggas. So I just want I don't know I just want to go for. I think that idea is gonna be crazy. Then it's collaborative. So like niggas can switch off like one issue. Like you can draw a fight scene, then I can draw a fight scene, or you can do a cover and I can do like things like that. And then with the other, I want to do shit like that,
Yeah, though.
like real comic book runs.
Yeah, it's like you make a little anthology almost, dog. Like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Those be the type of shits that will add to our legacy as being black creators. You know, that's really what it's about. You know, the only bad thing I'll say that we've done with what we do with art is like we've done the clicks again. Instead of trying to be all open, it's like there's clicks and it's like our power is in unity. So all
Yeah,
these clicks, you know, it's like, yeah, that's cool, but welcome more, help more to get to where you're at, you know, or teach them a little something, you know, show them how to fish. If that's
yeah,
what they need, you know, don't be afraid. Don't feel like they're gonna take from you because we're all supposed to be there together.
yeah. Everybody working together, man. Everybody want to get to the bag, man. There's
Yeah,
don't let these rich people lie to you. There is plenty of money for everybody. Plenty.
yeah. It's just that certain people that done got in certain positions, it's like you could when a person isn't used to power, you could tell when they become like a gatekeeper because stuff has been funneled through them so much, and
Yeah,
so they can be like, nah, they can see something and they'll be intimidated by it because it's something new and totally different of whatever it is that they do. And I've seen a lot of people get shook.
yeah, man. People getting in that pressure, and then
Yeah, because it's like they see this new wave of thought and it's like, whoa, yeah,
I can't rob these niggas. These niggas aware now. They understand. They want royalty. They want publishing. They want every bit of the pie that's theirs. Then they want the
straight
right.
up, man.
But we gotta move like that because they're gonna try to rob you regardless. They rob artists all the time. They rob people IPs all the time. Like the Matrix was robbed for some lady who sent in the book to Warner Brothers.
Yeah, so the all seeing eye.
And like,
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
she got robbed. And it's like I
But
just
shit, I know her camp. Man, they getting straight though. They
oh,
getting straight, bro.
that's dope.
That's the yeah, dog. She finally won her case like years later, but and she's just starting to kind of reap from that. But yeah,
I do remember hearing about her winning her case, man. And that's the big thing. I feel like what matters more than anything is owning your shit. Yeah, you may not make a big amount of money up front, but just before we close out, man, just what do you got coming next, and what are any general words you would have for like an up and coming artist who wants to create comics, who wants to get out there, and where can they find your work, and just
man. Okay. The advice I would tell them is to always create. When you're sad, try to create. When you're happy, create. When you feel like you're on top of the world, create. The more you create, the more your mind is going to expand. The more your mind expands, the more you become open to flow. And in the flow, everything is possible. So continue to create, and you'll always be in the flow. Man, right now, working on finishing up these profit pages. I got some work I got to do for Johnny. My homeboy Johnny got it for. He got Bolton Company. Um, got some pages going him. What else? Man, still working out the stuff with Boost. Um, we're doing like we're gonna start like a relaunch of all of our number ones, and we're gonna adjust them, almost HD remaster a lot of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh, I got another little project, like shit, because I love wrestling, and so we got a little wrestling book called Tactics that we're about to drop. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
Yeah, yeah, man. That I said I showed you like the belt. Yeah, dog. It's like we
Like,
just trying to tell good stories here in the moon. You know, we
right.
just we just trying to find different avenues because it's really about. It's almost like when you go to Tubi and you're looking for black movies, and you're gonna find like they all basically encompass the same four things, like money, women, drugs, and some type of violence. You know what I'm saying? Or some type of cheating, or some type of something sad. Basically, that's the
Right.
other category that's needed. And it's like we got to start making stuff that shows us winning and feeling good and being heroes and standing for what's right, and not with always like this everybody is against us vibration. It's like we should just make stories.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we want to transform this, but we're still making the same stuff that is born from this. It's like we gotta transform the whole thing. And almost it sucks because it's almost like you gotta move like that. It didn't happen to you now.
Yeah. You
But
gotta
that's
have
the
like,
only way you gotta manifest it.
but you gotta remove yourself from it to really create and really make shit freely without you trying to fit a box of what's meant to be black
Right.
art or not. And it's like, man, black art is whatever a black artist makes it to be. And yeah, like you said, just that's the best thing to say. Just keep that flow going. Just create.
Just create, man. Like art, I respect art like almost like it's an avatar in itself, like it's a being, and it allows me to use it. But it's like when people be like, "Oh, I used to draw," and they might have been awesome artists, and you'd be like, "Can you draw?" No, I can't draw anything. Is because you lost it. You had a relationship with it,
Yeah.
and
Like,
it's like if you don't use it, it's like a muscle. It'll just shrivel up and just die, and then it's like it's hard for you to reestablish that connection, depending on how long you've not been drawing
nah,
or
man.
creating.
I think that discipline matters. You do gotta know when to pull back sometimes, but you also gotta know when it's like you gotta get back
You
to the
gotta
lab.
go. Yeah,
Yeah, go all out or die. What you said, said a while ago. Go all out or die.
all out or die, dog.
Yeah, man.
All gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes.
When that nigga said on Justice League, you like, oh man, picking and tired. You get plenty of time to rest in the grave. Right now,
Straight up,
bitch. But it was an honor, bro. I do
man. I
appreciate
appreciate
you,
the
bro.
bill, man.
Yeah,
I,
man.
I I love this, man. I'm happy for your podcast, man. Do more, man. I'm gonna find some more artists for you to talk to, dog. Some real cool brothers, man. Like, yeah, bro. Start showing different avenues and genres. Show that we can do everything. That's what I want to show.
Yeah, we can do everything, bro. And this is untapped market, bro. Tell your
Straight
stories,
up, bro.
bro. You want to tell your stories about how there's some superpower dudes who sell something that's not drugs or whatever, bro. Just write a story about it, bro. Like why you
Right as story.
like
Straight up.
make it fire? But at the end of the day, man, it's an honor, bro. I'm gonna link. I'll make sure I'm doing a nice little cut up trailer in the video, show your artwork off, man. It's a honor to
Appreciate it,
have
my
you
guy.
here.
Hey man, I appreciate you, Al boy. Hey, we gonna rock out again, man.
Oh yeah, that's a fact, man.
Okay.
Nerdrap podcast, man. We out.
You already know.